Hello Plymouth, Luke Pollard here. I'm your Member of Parliament. 2018 has been quite a year and I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone in Plymouth and to wish you all a Happy New Year. 2018 has seen continuing and embarrassingly bad handling of Brexit by this government. The meaningful vote has been delayed and as we've seen over Bardon, jobs in Plymouth are at risk because of Brexit. I've held 6 open public Brexit meetings in the last year so I can hear from you about Brexit. I will vote against the deal as it's bad for Plymouth. It's not just Brexit that matters. I've raised questions about the state of our NHS. I've backed Derriford's campaign to get new funding for an emergency department, a campaign we won. I've also called for more help to support our GPs and social care system, as well as to create health and wellbeing hubs, including a super hub in the city centre. I've called for fairer funding for our city schools, holding debates in Parliament and putting ministers on the spot over the poor funding for our teachers and schools and making the case for funding for the Plymouth Challenge. I've defended our armed forces from Tory cuts. After we said goodbye to HMS Ocean in the summer, after Tory ministers sold her to Brazil, I was determined we would not lose the campaign to protect our amphibious ships, HMS Albion and HMS Bulwark. We won that campaign. We also won the campaign I've been leading as Devonport's MP to have the new frigates based in Plymouth. I also launched a campaign to see the old nuclear submarines at Devonport recycled safely, creating jobs in our city and put pressure on ministers to secure a long-term basing of the Royal Marines in our city. I've joined the Navy too. As an MP, you can join one of the armed forces and I've followed my old man into the Royal Navy. My campaign to designate Plymouth Sound as the country's first national marine park has grown and grown with public meetings, workshops and only a few weeks ago the launch of the prospectus setting out our plans. Plymouth doesn't get the transport funding we deserve. That's why I've campaigned to see the M5 extended from Exeter to Plymouth and for more urgent action at Dawlish to keep our train line open. I've also called for new trains for the cross-country franchise to stop them cancelling trains at Dawlish, cutting off our region when we have bad weather. I've been vocal about Plymouth's fishing industry. As Labour's Shadow Fisheries Minister, I've campaigned for a fairer share of quota and for better marine safety after the loss of 2 of our trawlers at sea in the last year. We also won our campaign to force ministers to pay for the emergency recladding of the Mount Wise tower blocks. It took a year of lobbying and pressure, but we won, and I was there to turn on the new sprinkler systems to keep residents safe as the scaffolders were erecting the scaffold to take down that cladding. I launched the campaign for a statue to Nancy Astor, the first woman to take her seat in the House of Commons, and lobbied for more funding for the Mayflower 400 commemorations. I opened my new office in the city centre, which is the first time a Plymouth MP has had such an accessible location. I've raised concerns in the Commons about universal credit and the poverty it is causing. When I was elected, I said I would give Plymouth its voice back in Parliament, and that's exactly what I've done. I've spoken over 100 times in the last year in the House of Commons, more than all the other Plymouth MPs put together. I've held weekly Facebook Lives and monthly public open meetings where you can ask me anything. 2019 is going to be a year of continuing uncertainty and economic turbulence because of Brexit and continuing Conservative austerity. I'm proud to be a Janner, proud to have been born in Plymouth and to live in Plymouth, so whatever 2019 throws at us, I'll be there alongside you, standing up for our city and fighting for us to get our fair share. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.